Miguel Iterati back here at the IBOP Vaults, and we are into our Talk and Shoot video blogs here. The subject, the Abu Dhabi Combat Club and their Submission Wrestling World Championships. It's set on the schedule for September 23rd and 24th at the Metro Arena in Helsinki, Finland. This is the 12th edition of this tournament, and the best grapplers in the world have always traditionally shown up for this, and that's the case again. They've added super fights over the years, and this video blog is dedicated to Renzo Gracie versus Sane Kikuta. It's an interesting super fight because it really goes back to the old history of the Abu Dhabi Combat Club and the Submission Fighting World Championships. Renzo Gracie, obviously, one of the longtime competitors. He competed in the first one. He continues to compete, obviously, well into his 40s now. And, he's won the World Championships in the 77 kilogram class on multiple occasions. And, when he was on his game, when he was at the top of his game, one of the fiercest competitors you could find out there. Tough to beat him. Abu Dhabi was always like a home to him, too, because, he has a personal relationship with the sponsors. And, he's friends with them, and he's part of how the tournament actually initiated. So, Renzo Gracie, a legend, in the Abu Dhabi world, still continues to compete in there. But now, Sane Kikuta is a guy with a little legend on his own. In the early days, in '98, it was a tournament of, invites with not a huge amount of recognition. But when Sperry came home and won everything, the 99 one was where everybody showed up, and that's when it started to blow up. In 2000, those to me were the final tournaments in Abu Dhabi. 2001, those three are kind of like lost history. It's like there's so much that went on and so much that people don't know about and things. But anyway, so if you look back at it, Sane Kikuta actually, the lore is that the Japanese teams were very much something that everybody wanted to see. Rumi Sato, didn't do well in Abu Dhabi, although he was a legend back then in MMA. The number one pound-for-pound MMA fighter stepping into this and doing it. He was a great grappler, but he didn't work out for him in this format. I think Leo Vera may have beaten him, who was in one of the super fights. But it doesn't matter. Kikuta came into the 88-pound weight class and fought Saulo Ribeiro, and he actually won the weight class. So he won all four fights and became the first and really, I think, the only Japanese competitor to ever win one of the Abu Dhabi weight classes. And that's what gives Kikuta his place. I remember after that tournament, Kikuta, knew he was going to be into some money there, and he was very concerned that, that the people around him were, he wanted to be dealt with directly. He wanted to be paid directly because he was worried that people were going to have their hands in the little pot of gold there. So hats off to Kikuta, who broke through and deserves a super fight. A nice spot for him to come in and return to a place of his glory, and it helps maybe the Japanese team be motivated when they come over here. And like I said, they haven't won since. The books are not carrying, but when I say the books, my hat's off to Bet DSI because they're really the only book that's going to be carrying the ADCC Combat Club and their Submission World Championships. I'd be surprised if anybody else pops up. But they haven't listed Gracie and Kikuta yet. I do expect the odds to pop up and for Gracie to be a pretty heavy favorite. We'll look back a lot closer to fight time at some of these fights. I'm Miguel Iterati. We've been talking shoot. We'll catch you after Gracie Kikuta.